So we want to find a degree 3 Taylor polynomial of this function centered at 2. So I'm first of all going to express this function with a rational exponent. So we've got 5x minus 2 to the 5/3. And now we want to go ahead and evaluate this function at 2. So that would be putting a 2 in here. We'd have 10 minus 2, which is 8. So that'd be 8 to the 5/3. And we know that a denominator of 3 means to cube root. So we'd cube root 8 and get 2 and raise it to the 5th power. So that's going to be 32. Now we're going to need to take 3 derivatives. So let's start here with the first derivative. And that's going to be a power out in front, 5/3 times 5x minus 2 to the decrease the power by 1. That's going to be 2/3. And then chain rule multiplied by the derivative of what's inside, which is a 5. So we're going to multiply this by 5. Now we want to evaluate that at 2. So that's going to be 25/3 multiplied by, that's going to be an 8 in the parentheses again, and cube root 8 is 2, and then squared is 4. So that's going to be 100/3. Now we need a second derivative. So we got a power rule, chain rule again. So the 2/3 comes out in front. So we have 25 times the 2, that's going to be 50. And then the 3 times the 3, 9ths. Then we have 5x minus 2, decrease the power by 1, that'd be to the minus 1/3. And so we now multiply by the derivative of what's inside, so multiplied by 5. So it looks like that one we need to evaluate at 2. And that's going to be, let's see, 5 times 5 is 25, add the 0, so 250/9. And then this is going to be inside's 8 and what's to the negative 1/3, so that's going to be times 1/2, because our negative 1/3 power means we'd move that 8 to the bottom and then take the cube root of that. So that's going to be 125/9. Now we need to do this one more time. So we're going to take the third derivative, and that's going to be a power out in front, so negative 1/3 out here. So we got 250/27, but it's negative, multiplied by 5x minus 2, decrease the power by 1, that's negative 4/3, and we've got the chain rule multiplied by the derivative of what's inside, which is our 5. So now we need to evaluate that at 2, and that's going to be negative 1250/27, and then this is going to be times 1 over, so the cube root of 8 is 2 to the 4th is 16, and that's going to be negative 625/216. Okay, now we have all of our coefficients, and so we can go ahead and write out this polynomial. So let's see where we've got those. So we have our 32, and we have our 100/3, 125/9, and negative 625. So let's go ahead and write our third degree Taylor polynomial, and that's going to be 32 plus 100/3, and then we need to, that's basically with the 1 factorial, and then we need to have x minus 2 because this was centered at 2. And then our next term is going to be 125/9, but also over 2 factorial, so that's going to make that plus 125/18, and that's x minus 2 squared. And then our last term, we're going to have negative 625/216, but then we also have 3 factorial, which is 3 times 2 here. So that's going to be negative 625 over 1296 and x minus 2 to the third.